is genuinely a series which I think has had a lot of meaning this year, especially the last few months where we've seen, you know, in the online tournaments, MaxPax and SHIN both dominating. And like I say, specifically between the two of them, they've gone back and forth a lot of the times that they have played. So let's get into it. Thank you to OSC for having us. Let's have a spectacle here for our final matchup. And it's in the top right-hand corner, the red Protoss player. This is MaxPax, and he starts up 1-0. He gets a game 1 victory because he comes from the winner bracket. In the bottom left, our blue Zerg player here in this best of 7 will be SHIN. Here on ley lines, going to open up with the hatchery on location. Probe does not come early enough to go for any kind of blockage here early on, so nothing too much of a factor about that. As we get our probe coming all the way across, again, hatching a couple drones coming up, and the early game PvZ probably is not going to be all too wild or all too crazy. And we just take a few moments to get ourselves set up and to see where things will go. Var91 on the 5 gifted subs and the +1 from Valorant to make it a cheeky 6. Thank you so much for the gifted subs, mate. Appreciate it. Going out to Hell Knight 55, Night Saver, Aries 4611, Pollux T, Zandhouse 4, and Infinity 5362. Appreciate the generosity. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much for gifting some subs. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for supporting. I think that pushes us over 800 subs as well. Nice to end the year a little bit above the average that we've been lingering on for parts of this year. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. As we get game number 2 of this series underway, like I say, I'll call it game 2 because the deeper it goes, the easier it is to call it whatever game it is on the scoreboard. Obviously, it's a bit weird here because it's the first game being played, but just imagine game 1 was won by MaxPax because just instantly, and now this is game 2. As we do have our Adept going to Chrono Boost out, so just going to bring that straight onwards. Get that going immediately. So Adept is Chrono Boosting away, looking pretty cozy for a couple of moments here. And I'm just going to be bringing that through as a couple of Lings are going to make their way across as well, so they're just going to wander over for a few moments. Obviously some early scouting information. They'll also be the Adept defense squad, so expect those Zerglings to have an impact as we continue by for the early stages. Key drones popping out. The Stargate will go into the main base, so again, very standard for MaxPax. Expecting him to play a lot of Stargate in this series. Multiple different kind of Oracle counts, I would imagine, as well as we move through this. Definitely something we expect from MaxPax, like I say, across the course of a best of 7, especially just a lot of games, and Stargate's a very standard way to play. It's definitely going to be something he comes back to and turns back to over the course of this one, as there's a couple of Adepts still poking around. The Lings, the Queen, the Ling speed coming up, 2 more drones in production. The Oracle is Chrono Boosting out of the Stargate. That's going to be coming across as well. Queen's going to get there. The Adept will go down. I'm just going to see the Adept trying to go for the drones for a few moments, but we'll not be able to do too much of significance on that one. And it's the Oracle coming about. A few drones continue in. The Zerglings are going to find an Adept over in this direction as well. It's just going to get a little pick off there. The Oracle will obviously chase. We can energy overcharge Oracles nowadays, so activating Oracles to chase down Zerglings is a lot more viable than it ever used to be, actually. So right now the Lings will just get back onto this Nexus, nibble at the building pylon, and we can go from there. What do you think the count is off? How is it 1-0? I explained it 3 times already at the start of the game. MaxPax came from the winner bracket, and so he is in a 1-0 lead in this grand final. Game number 2 already, because he just gets the free win in game 1 because that's his winner bracket advantage. I've already explained it 3 times, so hopefully a 4th will do the job for anyone that's joining us just a couple minutes into the game. The Oracles will activate, a couple drones will go down. Max won the first game, yes, but they didn't play a first game. He just gets a 1-0 lead. But we're going to call this game 2 because by the time it's game 4, say we call it this game 1, by the time it's game 4, but the score is like, you know, 3-2, and it's actually game, like, it just gets confusing. So it's just easier right now to call this game 2. So yeah, Ay, ay, ay. Depth's just going to come through. A couple queens are going to get ready to poke away at those. Depth's trying to fight those back a little bit where possible. So trying to find some value as the charge and the +1 continue to come over. Just going to be seeing the queens. Again, going there. The Adepts and the Oracles will join up as well. Definitely looking for some possibility of doing some further damage. I mean, obviously just lingering on the edge of creep, denying creep spread, controlling this game as best you can early on is the current situation from MaxPax. So trying to make something happen there. Just going to be having a couple more creep twins going down. Like I say, really nice to just completely deny the creep spread so far. Going to make it very tough for Shin to connect this fourth base with creep, and that's going to make it more difficult to defend that the deeper this goes. Oracles activate with the Lings, threatening onto the Adepts there for a couple of moments. That's just going to be a defense and a little bit of a pushback. I'm about to say, I've actually loved just how much MaxPax has been able to do with these Adepts, but this might be the end of them. We're going to see one going down, a second lives. Queens get there to push the Oracle back over as well, so actually that's going to be still not so bad. Just going to be seeing a couple of Adepts getting there to pick the Zerglings off as well. The other Zerglings continuing through to the other side of the map as we go. Just getting all of that ready. As, yeah, the Adepts going to get surrounded. The Ling's going to be there, charging +1 coming up. The Archons will be morphing, and the additional Zealots coming through as well. Nexus in production. Spire building in the back from Shin. Just going to see the Zerglings trying to get wrapped around, and they will cancel a fourth base. So Shin able to slow down MaxPax. And getting a fourth base online is definitely a nice start. And like I say, with the Spire on the way up, Mutalisk as an option for him will be fun to see him kind of play that out. I kind of like that he's going Mutas early in the series too. I feel like this is something Shin mixes in a lot, but to kind of just hit straight at Mutas for game number 1, I actually think this is pretty neat. Spire is going to be done very soon, and like I say, we just gotta survive to actually get that Spire up in a meaningful way. We actually kill the Nexus on the other side. That's no cancel, so that's money down the drain for MaxPax. Right now, like I say, Shin just has to focus on actually surviving here, though, and actually seeing the point where he can build Mutalisks. He's got money banked up, so he wants to build those Mutalisks. I think he's actually got enough roaches to do this too, and he can zone the Prism out so far because the Queens were in the right position to do so. We're actually going to zone this back, and now Mutalisks get to build. It's actually becoming a very good situation for Shin. Muta's on the way out. He's defended against his initial attack. This is one of the scarier parts, and because this is a charge-based game from MaxPax, him not having Blink is going to become a factor here when you consider that there's now Mutalisks on the way. Prism's not going to do much if the Muta's intercepted either, and just across the board, this is looking extremely good for our Zerg. Shin got to be feeling pretty darn good about this at the moment. +2 attack, Storm coming up, the Robo Facility, and Nexus coming down line, the Ling Roach Ravager, and the +1 missiles continuing to produce. Let's set up, just going to be seeing the Stasis Ward catching. The Zergling at the front there. Again, the Storm and the +2 continue to come in as well. On the right-hand side, the Muta's going to fly into the natural, and MaxPax's preparation for this is pretty minimal as the Roach Ravager is going to get jumped on, get a jump on those Zealots. Like I say, because we cleaned up so well before, I think he's going to just be able to keep on fighting quite nicely. That Roach Ravager number is nothing to be sad about. That's a lot of units. There is the Prism on the other side. Oh, it just died, so the Queens get the kill. So those few Zealots will get cleaned up. Mutas are just straight up fighting the Stalker Warpins. Shin pushing on the top side of this as well and looking great to just immediately undo the advantage MaxPax gets from being the winner bracket player here to start this series off. Surprised these Mutas haven't gone anywhere else. The main base is completely open. I think right now would be a good time to go to the main because that's a bigger Stalker Warpin than what we've seen, but the Roach Ravager numbers are not stopping. The Stasis only catches a handful of Lings. The Mutas are going to turn back onto those Stalkers. Immortals still being chased down. The Ravagers continue to punch their way through as well. It does not look as though this is going to be going anywhere anytime soon, apart from in favor of Shin, as Shin is going to take game number 2 of this series. And we are tied up just like that. The advantage of MaxPax gets wiped off the board. Play offline right, but I would love to start seeing these guys have an offline rivalry because I actually do genuinely think that these two are really getting well matched for each other as well. MaxPax is maybe not the absolute best PvZer, right? And I think Shin is very competent in this matchup, and it makes what, like I say, just a good level between the two of them. MaxPax in the upper right is our red Protoss player, as his 1-0 winning bracket advantage gets wiped off the board with Shin taking that Game 2 victory and he is now going to be tied up. I'm looking to see where this series can go as a probe. Already comes across the map and is just going to go straight into the natural. Drone pulls over. Probe is going to get chased around a little bit here. Just for a few moments. And there we go. What moves out? Hatchery was looking to maybe go down that natural, but yeah, because of the probe blocking it, there we go. We are going to put it there in the end. So just a little bit of a game here where SHIN is going to put that hatchery down pretty late, but would rather have it on the natural than take the third. Maybe is specifically on this map a little bit more afraid of just a depth pressure or something along those lines, because he was very cautious about putting that down. He was not playing games when it came to that one. He was not playing games. Overlord to the upper right-hand side. Again, Hatch, the pool coming through. The Nexus and the Cybercall will come up as well. So I guess just readjust my headset. As you're going to be seeing a simulator coming through. Next in the core coming up, the hatchery, lings, and a queen will also continue into play for the moment. Get all of that online. Yeah, away we go. Overlord just going to be chilling out on the natural. Port gate coming up, the Nexus coming through. Have ourselves the Overlord of SHIN just in the middle of the map as well. We just take a few moments. Again, early game PvZ. Hanging around for a little bit here as we just settle down. The Overlord moving around. Stargate coming up. The Queen's in production. Again, the Stargate just going to finish in a few moments' time. And we do see the few Zerglings of SHIN just stepping up for a couple of moments. And the warp gate building, the Oracle on the way out, a couple more probes being added on as we speak. Zergling speed coming up, the Queen is being added in there, and the Lings are going to wander into this natural expansion already. So into the natural we go with the Lings. Probe's going to get chased around a little bit. Things will continue to go. Probes go back the other direction. Again, those couple of Lings just going to take some shots. And a little bit of back and forth to start out. Who runs this tournament? This is an OSC tournament, so it's run by OSC. They've been running events for many years now. We will be having the OSC Championship on our channel next month, starting on January 2nd with some of their qualifiers and challenger brackets. So, yes, OSC Championship, big event. OSC running so many events and supporting so many events through the year with OSC points. They sponsor the WardiTV Monday Cups. So yes, I'm very happy to be partnered with OSC. I'm super excited to bring you guys the OSC Championship for January 2025. I think I covered my first OSC Championship in 2017, January 2017 or so. I believe it was a Beyond Keen series to round out that one. As we casted through the night, I think I finished the finals at like 8 or 9 a.m. After casting for, I want to say like 10 to 12 hours or something. It was like a long night. We used to play on very different schedules back then. We used to do some very different schedules back then. So, yes. That was a thing. Was that Season 4? Season 4, Beyond Keen in the Grand Finals. Apparently I can't click for any time info on Wikipedia, but that was a throwback. Yeah, that was in 2017. There's a few Lings coming back around, just going to try and get something done. You know, people are like, well, what do you cast all the time nowadays, guys? I used to cast like through the night, like 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. and stuff as well, you know, like Young Wardy had some real StarCraft passion in there. Now we just cast at midday to 5 every day, you know? Yeah. I always remember that one, because I'm pretty sure that was the first OSC championship I did. I might have done like a little bit of the previous ones. I don't think I did do the previous ones. I don't think I did the previous one at all. So yeah, that was the first one I did, and I remember because, like I say, we casted through the night. With some epic games. It was actually a pretty awesome TVT Grand Final. Keen won the first match from the lower bracket, so he reset the brackets, so we went even longer. Don't think Young Wardy slept. Oh no, I definitely lost some. I definitely lost some sleeping time in the years of casting StarCraft 2, the first 5 or 6 years. It was very common for us to do like 17-hour streams, you know, of just straight up like tournaments, like one tournament into another, joined another one late. Like we would do like 4 or 5 tournaments a day, like start at 9 AM, finish up at like, 1 AM or something. We did that a lot. Juicy, I think it's going to run through here. This game's been getting going. The Stalkers have their blink, and so MaxPax able to get into a position to apply some pressure now in this series. As he will do this right now as away we go. Just going to be seeing the Lings and the Queens gather up. The Adept getting there. +1 on blink still coming through. The Robo Bay is producing. The Observer coming online as we do have our Stalkers, Adept, and Oracles joining in the center of the map. I'm going to take some steps forwards as our Queens will take some hits. The Lings are going to try and run through. Are they going to be able to catch anything? Not really. The Stasis is going to just fire off and not really connect at all. The rest of the Lings still just going to come on over. As again, the +1 attack and the Robo Bay and the Nexus all continue to come through. Nice trades from MaxPax, obviously kiting back, utilizing the Oracles well, protecting the Stalkers is obviously a very important part of this too. Just going to be seeing our Lings coming over, the Stalkers and the Oracles get chased away. Did we just kill our own Stasis Ward there? Or was there a unit there that actually popped it? I actually don't think I saw that properly. Try and watch that back in a moment on the YouTube. No, he just attacked his own Stasis Ward. Yeah, he literally just attacked his own Stasis Ward. Oh, misclick from MaxPax. As the next Stasis Ward gets popped, just a handful of Lings being caught, nothing too serious just yet. Ling Hydra pushing forward. 9 probes going down. Sorry, I kind of missed that as I got caught up checking out what happened with that Stasis Ward, maybe more than I should have done. Infestation Pit on the way through. Ling Bane producing +1 missiles, and that Muscular Augments coming through for the Hydra speed is going to be online very shortly as well. Stasis Ward just catching a few of the Lings. The Ling Hydra continues over. And again, these Stalkers going to fight a few more Zerglings right there. +2 attack, extended thermal lance, all coming about. Just going to be seeing even more Banelings getting morphed in as we speak. Stalkers are still going after those Hydras. The Lings are still being chased down. See more Lings being caught at the moment. Just going to be seeing the units looking to wrap around this. The few Banes are going to come crashing through as well, whacking into a few of those Zealots already. Stalkers, the Colossus gathered together. We're just going to start breaking through into this mineral line perhaps. Lings and Hydras gathering up. Extra Stalkers warping in. Just going to be seeing these Lings popping out in the next few moments. The Banes are going to roll toward this mineral line, toward those workers. And then the Banes is going to keep rolling through. The Colossus is going to get struck. The Stalkers are going to hit. Damage being done as we are going to be seeing at the end though. MaxPax is going to turn this away, but we lose this hatchery already, so you lose a base. Oh, Revelation coming down now. We're going to knock down an Oracle as well. We turn back onto that Colossus. That's going to get chased the other direction. I actually don't think SHIN is going to stop. MaxPax is not going to have enough to survive, and this means that we're going to be able to get this base as well. We use up a couple of the Banes before they hit the Zealots, so the Zealots are going to be able to live for a few moments longer. The Colossus is on its way back over. Can it save the day? If nothing else, we're going to lose a few more probes. The Colossus getting hunted by Hydras on the other side. Now those Hydras can maybe focus the Oracles, but the Oracles get rid of the Hydras. The problem is everything else here is obviously going to be very one-sidedly in SHIN's favor, and he is going to zoom through 2 games back-to-back to take a 2-1 lead. His first lead of this grand final going to go up in the series. And can I put a bit of to just grab some extra prize money and to do what no one else has done before, which is win 2 OSC mid-season playoffs of the same year? As we have in the top left, our red Protoss player down only a game, but remember that he's not actually won a game yet. He just had the winner bracket advantage for the 1-0 lead. It is MaxPax in the top left-hand side, and he is taking on SHIN in the bottom right, our blue Zerg player, as we get into game number 4. And SHIN popping off a little bit. Can he get up to, like I say, a match point advantage here? The grand finals. Alright, well, probe coming about. Gateway and the assimilator continues to come through. The hatchery starts up on the natural as we just get ourselves the first few moments of this all settled. Okay, guys, if I don't know what's going on in chat, but if you see people saying that they've seen the games, it's just not true. Like, these games have not been seen by anyone, and they are, I mean, they are replays, but they are being casted live. No one's seen these games. No one knows the scores. This is not being updated on Wikipedia. You will find out the results of these games as they happen and in no other way. I promise you that any results being posted in Twitch chat are people just making stuff up. They have no idea. So if anyone says that they know the result, you can have my permission to point at them and be like, you are an idiot. Okay? Cool. We'll just mock them out of the stream for being stupid. Twitch chat wouldn't lie to you. Oh, buddy, you're gonna have a rough. I don't know whether to do this to your New Year's Eve, but you're gonna have a rough time when you hear about the reality of Twitch chat. Alright, a couple lings going through, moving across. As SHIN gets his early lings going to the top left-hand side of the map, away we go for a little bit of action. Stargate play once again here from MaxPax. Again, it's a consistent, safe, and very steady way to play, so no surprise at all to see that Stargate coming up one more time here from our Protoss player as we get this PvZ settled into our 4th map now. I really do expect that Stargate just to come up again and again and again and again on the side of MaxPax. I just do not think there's going to be much slowing down or delaying there as the Adept comes over, the fuelings get chased away. This be coming up, Oracle and the Warp Gate gathered together. It's going to be seeing the fuelings coming back across. We have ourselves the couple queens going to come over as well. Again, the Oracle coming up, the Warp Gate coming through. And get settled down for just a little bit right now as we have our 3rd hatchery coming into play. Why is he playing Oracle all the time? Because Oracle is a very good way to open. You can go so many different ways from Oracle. And Oracle into Blink is a very safe way to open especially, so... Oracle coming through, Links be coming up, the Warp Gate building. Nexus is going to drop down on the 3rd as the Oracle comes over. And again, we just get ourselves settled for a few moments with the Oracle providing some good information early. Oracle 2 is out. We are going to go to Oracle 3, so the triple Oracle play here from MaxPax tells us a little bit about how much he's happy to invest into this Stargate play and so on. The Oracle is going to get rid of a couple creep tumors at the front, so again, something you can do more frequently now because you have energy overcharge. Revelate the creep tumors, laser beam them down with the pulsar beam after. That was not really something you could get away with before because it was just such an energy investment. It would be like, well, now you have no Oracle energy. Whereas nowadays you can do that, and even now gets in for a couple of drones. So again, one of the ways in which energy overcharge has been a pretty vast improvement for early game harassment in the PvZ matchup. Queens get there, and the Oracle gets turned back for the moment. Again, Twilight Council, Forge, Nexus, Probes, and Adepts. All of that continues to build through for the moment, so just getting a little bit of this, that, and all the rest up and running. Again, Twilight Council and Forge coming in, the Lair and the Extractor coming through. 6 additional Overlords building up, and the Adepts already shading their way out across the map to start things out. So they're going to get themselves over the other direction. Adepts and the Oracles gather up. Gonna head back down the bottom right side. Gonna be seeing the Oracles and the Adepts both gonna make their way over here. So the Revelation goes down. The Adepts are gonna come shading up this ramp. Gonna start hitting that Queen. And that Queen's gonna go down pretty quickly. So the Queen gets cleaned out. The other Queen's coming back. The Oracle's chased away again. The Oracle on the right side chased back as well for the moment. Infestation Pit, Hatchery, +1 missiles, Roach Speed, all of that coming through. The Queen in production, the Blink and the +1 coming online as well. And again, the Oracle's activating, chasing those Lings away. The couple Queens getting hunted down. Oracle drops a Revelation into the rest of that army. The Lings would love to get on top of those Adepts. Looking to do that right now as well. Fleet Beacon still building, Stalker's on the way out. There's the Stargate and the Fleet Beacon, so MaxPax ready to just accelerate into the later stages of this game in the way of the air control. Just gonna get that going here. The next little bit as the feelings do step forward. And yeah, those Oracles just gonna come through and actually hit down the Queens. The Queen's gonna go down. Triple Oracle putting some work in right now as SHIN taking some pretty serious damage. These Adepts are gonna live. The Oracles did very well. That was a lot of damage taken. Resources lost 125 to 1537. Don't know if the Adepts had to step forward there, but I get it. You want to try and hit the mineral line. That's going to obviously even the resources lost out a little bit better, but obviously still really heavily in, MaxPax's favor. He gets off to an incredible start here on Abyssal Reef. Definitely the best start we've had so far. Eisenhower coming up. Swarm hosts all on the way out. There is another Nexus on the front. That fourth base coming through. Zerglin of SHIN moving around as well. Couple carriers, the mothership, all of this coming through for now as we get settled here. We got the charge and the +1 air weapons coming about. The Ling Roach still moving about in the center a little bit as well, so again doing everything we can just for the early stages, and we continue to knock our way through the rocks for now. So rocks will take some damage. The Oracle's going to come over. Blink across with those Stalkers. Roach is going to take hits. The Lings get chased away. So they're going to get pushed all the way back the other side. And now these Locusts drop down. This is going to go straight through for this Nexus. The Nexus will die. It's an easy pick off as well. Just going to get ourselves the Locusts now onto a couple other bits and pieces here and there. So I'm still seeing the extra gates coming through. The carriers in production. We actually Nidus on the left-hand side. This is where SHIN just starts to play completely chaotically and just says, okay, you know, you had me in the first half. You definitely got some good damage done. Let's see if I can bring this back by absolutely being a pretty aggressive Zerg, which we know SHIN likes to be. And he's just going to try and somewhat try to out-multitask MaxPax here, essentially, as the Oracle chases in. The Stalkers get pushed around a little bit as well, so that's going to be all going on. Again, a couple of Oracles fighting there. Roach is taking hits. Going to be seeing the Locust dropping through, and that means that we can already start to get damage done. I like the Swarm Host because to me it's actually a really good way to potentially even out a game which has not started well for you. The Swarm Host can definitely change the vibe of how a game is going, right, and the direction of a game. A lot of the time when you play Swarm Host, it's going to slow the game down for your opponent because they have to be very slow and systematic about how you deal with, free units. So it really changes the fact that, MaxPax would have headed in this game and maybe would like to just trade. Trading into free units does not feel good, so it gives that efficiency back to the side of SHIN. That definitely helps. Nidus still coming through. Nidus network is about to finish. I'm just going to get a whole chunk of units all moving through together here right now, so they're going to go together as one. Out and across we go. +2 attack, +2 air weapons, all continuing in. Someone's going to step forward. There's going to be a Time Warp coming down. The Locusts are going to pop up. The Roaches are going to step forward as well. In we go. The Mothership going to pop up the Cloaking. Just going to be seeing the Microbial Shroud coming down as well. Seeing our carriers continue to fire. The Hydra's still stepping through. Carriers still taking some shots. Microbial Shroud being used is not exactly a great sign that you've got the best setup possible here at SHIN, but pushing through with it. I mean, the carriers are surviving, but they're low on interceptor counts. We need more Hydras, we need more Lings. I mean, this is very aggressive. This does not really last forever. at all. And that's the problem, right, is that these units do not, you know, this push from SHIN does not really last forever, but we're going to get Locust there again. They can hit the mineral line and be very annoying. So that's definitely going to be a little bit of a factor too. Just going to be seeing those carriers still stepping forward. Just going to be seeing the carriers continue to come around for now. I mean, the carrier count grows. A Tempest on the way out, a new mothership coming through here as well. Replacing the one that we've lost, but SHIN currently is busting through this forward base, and this fourth is going to go down, so SHIN is going to lose that immediately. It's going to keep stepping forward. The Lings are going to be there. A few more hits coming about as well. We've got Locust over on the right side. They're going to come dropping through, as they are going to hit the natural as well. So now you've lost the fourth and you've lost the natural, and so disastrous few moments here on the side of MaxPax. As SHIN is getting work done. He still just needs to deal with these carriers though, right? He's going to need to take one final fight against that air army. For all the damage that he's done, that is definitely the biggest issue of the moment. And just come back down. And away we go. Just going to be seeing the +3 attack coming through. A couple more interceptors coming out as well. Storm still coming up. Nexus on the way. We've got 15 Corruptors building as we continue to get going once more. The Lings is going to make their way forward to begin with. Carriers. And Tempest, like I say, it's going to be the air army that's just going to be difficult to get rid of. For everything that we've done here is SHIN. We just got to figure out a way to actually kill that off. As once again, Locusts get the job done. They hit the third base. That goes down. We're rebuilding the natural and fourth. MaxPax in trouble, and the Corruptors are about to arrive. And that's it. That's what I'm talking about. We need a way to fight this air army. Corruptors are going to be it. SHIN is looking to win 3 in a row and to put himself onto the verge of victory in this grand final. Absolutely dominant PvZ from him so far, and just a set of different games as well. See our Smallhoard still gathering. The Hydra's poking up the front. A couple of probes just going to get picked from afar. I mean, you're basically here is SHIN just kind of tempting this air army into an exposed position. We're actually going to go for it. Splits the Corruptors. In we dive. Carriers are going to get jumped on. As the Hydras continue to fight, the carriers will drop. A couple of Archons on the ground may get morphed in, but don't think they're going to make much difference. As most of the air army goes down, MaxPax will not be able to hold from there, and that is going to be a 3-1 lead here from SHIN, as he is absolutely monster moding through this grand fight. Not how I thought this final was going to go, because like I say, usually these two are competitive and back and forth. But this has been a dominantly one-sided series so far. Bottom right corner, our red Protoss player is MaxPax, as in the top left, our blue Zerg, SHIN. SHIN leading 3-1 in this series. Berry BP, thank you so much for the 30-month resub on the Prime. It's going for SHIN and month at the same time. Minth, apparently. Yeah, so MaxPax did lose to SHIN the last couple of times they played, but there's a little bit more competitive than this, first of all, and also, like I say, like if you look at their history, it's been kind of a couple wins for MaxPax, a couple wins for SHIN. This would be 3 wins in a row for SHIN, and SHIN looking as dominant as he has done in the series between these guys. I think that is a statement. Very interesting period here between MaxPax and SHIN in this little rivalry they've definitely had going as of late. Hatch gas and pool coming through. The gateway is coming up with a probe in production. Got ourselves settled down here for a few moments. Yo, Eternal 007, thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thanks for keeping SC alive. Thank you so much for supporting the stream and keeping the stream alive. Would not be doing it without you all. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cybercore's about to finish. The simulator coming through. We'll continue to get settled here. Once we get this adept out, we'll be able to get across the map with said adept for the early stages and go from there. Obviously, we also have a probe just nibbling on the other side. A little bit of something to watch, at least. MaxPax tries to step into this series. Or has it just already gone too far? It's pretty crazy. Adept is going to start taking some shots from the Queen, the Ling moving about as well. Just going to be having our couple of additional gateways from MaxPax. He's going to go to 3 gates, no tech structure. Definitely a change of pace from him, from that Stargate that we've seen from him up until now. So MaxPax saying that maybe it is time to switch this up. Yo, TWS 3000, thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. There's the Adept stepping forward. I'm just going to shade, and actually going to already catch with the 2 Adepts that drone right there. So that's going to be a nice starting catch. 2 drones dead, and these Adepts will continue to apply pressure as MaxPax, again with the 3 gates now into the Twilight Council. Much more aggressive from the start kind of build order from him. So that's definitely going to be a little bit more of a fun start here. As a couple of Adepts get pushed back. A couple of Lings are coming through there as well. Just trying to see what we can do wherever we can for the moment. Robo facility to follow up the Twilight Council. 3 more Adepts will be in, and you see this as well right now. So now you know what's going on. Adepts going to shade over, heading down the bottom right side. Resonating Glaives coming up as well. Have ourselves the Adepts continuing through. A couple more Adepts get warped in. Have that Prism coming online. As yo, ApoVV, thank you as well for the Prime sub. Appreciate it, guys. Use your Prime, support the channel, help us to keep on producing StarCraft. We appreciate your support with the Primes. Don't have a Prime, can't afford a sub? Check out Star Trek Fleet Command, !star in the chat, and you can support the stream for free just by playing the game. Check that out as well. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. As this Resonating Glaives attack is coming through, 3 more gates as well. So this is going to be 6 gates off 2 bases. MaxPax is completely switching up the playstyle. I mean, he's just going super aggressive now as the Adepts work to the top. Again, the gates coming up, the Observer coming around, Roach Roaring, Lings, and Drones continue to build in as we come around the top side. A few more Adepts will get warped in as well, so we just get all of that going here. Fight will start out. SHIN is not super prepared for this. Like, he's got a lot of Lings, but Lings alone are always going to struggle against an Adept attack, right, with Glaives. There's 100% going to be scenarios there where life is going to become quite tough for you as a few more Adepts get warped in again. Just going to see that coming straight by. Lings and Roaches continue up. Pylons building in the back. He's going to wrap around, and those Adepts going to be in trouble. Queen's going to get there as well. Adepts will continue to fall. Going to see a bunch of them shading into the main base as multiple drones get chased down as well. What a position. These Lings are just going to be in trouble. I mean, they cannot get any surface area at all. Some Roaches out, but they're all over the place trying to play defense. And of course, we're warping in 6 Adepts at a time, so the numbers are rising rapidly from MaxPax because of 6 gateways. It's just not really the normal kind of amount you play with. And that's going to be tough for SHIN to really get on top of this. Now, he's only lost 6 drones so far. All it takes is a couple of moments where these Adepts overwhelm for MaxPax to do serious damage, but maybe we're not actually going to see it. Maybe we are actually going to stabilize here. Mortal Adepts, the Sentry gathering back up. Extra drones on the way through. The Zerglings are coming about. This Prism of MaxPax going to unload a couple of Adepts down, and the Creep Tumor gets cleaned out already. Going to be a pickoff as well. Adepts going to go. Queen is going to get picked off. The Zerglings going to get a fight, and the Adepts lift back up once again. Yo, Hargrave, thank you so much for the 18-month resub. on the Prime. Thanks for still streaming SC2. No worries. Thank you so much for still watching. Appreciate it. As our Adepts will fight one more time. A few Zerglings continue to go down. Adepts load back into the Prism. They pull back a little bit. The Immortal on the way. The Spores coming up. Well, that's still being brought in for now. All being done here is we just have the Prism turned around from the main base. That's just going to get shoved the other direction for a few moments. A couple of Ravages there as well. Keep an eye on things, but man. Yes, a cleanup from SHIN. Definitely damage done. As MaxPax sets up for a Mortal Adept Sentry follow-up push, it's going to be difficult to see SHIN getting the numbers he needs to defend this here, I think. I think this one's going to be pretty tough for him, but I will sit and see if we turn out, or to see if it does turn out any other way. And that lair coming through, the couple of extractors coming up. Things just whack their way through this set of rocks, just opening up over here. The Roach Ravager gathers together, Blink still building. Again, Probes building through, Lings and the Overseer coming online. We'll be having our Adepts loaded back up into the Warp Prism right now. Just going to get that on the go. Just going to be having our other few Adepts coming about as well. So, across we go for the moment. I mean, this is a massive army. Show me a way for SHIN to defend this and I'll be amazed. I think MaxPax is going to step back in this series. I think we are going to get a map back on the scoreboard. As you see, our Corrosive Vials knocking some of those force fields down. Very painful start for SHIN, and now MaxPax's army clearly just way too strong. Not really much else to say, guys. We're waiting for this fight to close out. These Lings aren't going to do anything. The Ravager Vials will attempt to get involved in amongst the Adepts, but SHIN will have to say GG, and we will not be able to get ahead of ourselves just yet, for SHIN is not going to. Alright, in the top right-hand side, he took a map, and so we are alive in this series. Remember, he obviously had the one map advantage already, so to start out with, so that does mean he's only 2 maps away from winning this. This series can turn on its head very quickly. Of course, cannot make any mistakes. It's MaxPax in the upper right, early probe across the map to go blocking. SHIN in the bottom left, our blue Zerg player here, as we get going into game 6. SHIN can win the mid-season playoffs right here and now on Arrowhome. Let's see what happens. Forward third base, or you could take the linear base up here. This is an interesting map, because obviously this is a map which is not very well figured out. These guys don't even have memories of playing on this one, most likely, so kind of makes that a little bit intriguing for them playing this right here. Do you have SHIN with a drone going the other side? I like this. Bit of a weird map. You maybe haven't played it so much. Throw your opponent off, right? Throw your opponent off as you try to get thrown off as well. He didn't realize the hatchery didn't go down. Gets it still. The pylon was in a blocking position there initially, so that was hatchery. A little scary, you know. Nelly missed his hatch block, which would have been a bit of a waste of a drone coming across the map. As we will now see MaxPax pulling the probes to start dealing with this, very similar to what we saw with SHIN versus Nightmare early on today, if you were here with us for that one. Nightmare earlier, sorry, had 5 probes on this hatchery. And so will MaxPax right now as well. 5th probe comes down. That's just the magic number. 5 probes, the Zealot pops, Zealot plays cleanup on the hatchery, and you just don't really end up in too much trouble from that sort of a scenario, so that's exactly where we are going to for the moment. Probe still nibbling, hatch taking shots. Again, Cybercore coming through, the probe is still producing on in. That probe running around in circles, the drone continues to chase it and deal some nibbles. Oh, he gets the gas steal. That's something that Nightmare didn't allow to happen earlier. He got the probe to block the gas steal. But now you're going to take this gas, and that might throw off MaxPax's timings by just a little bit more than what it would have originally been. We double expanded home as SHIN, so he's going to go up to 3 bases himself. Link speed already on the way for himself as well. Getting that up and rolling. There's a couple of probes, and the Zealot continuing to hit the extractor for a few moments. And yeah, the Adept is going to start to shade out onto the map. Away we go, down toward the bottom left side. For now, Zergling speed coming up, a couple hatcheries coming through. Ling's Queen All building in. And our Twilight Council is building up. Our Nexus is on the way through. We're up in the Adept coming about. The Warp Gate's still building. A couple of Adepts are going to go shading once again. The Link Speed will finish very shortly. Just take a few moments to get settled here. And these early stages. Again, Link Speed about to be done. The Adepts are going to shade across the right-hand side, pulling back toward the natural. Nexus finishes, Adepts gather, final one's going to be there. Proper Facility, Gateways, and the Oracle. Not the Oracle, the Resonating Glaive starting up, so MaxPax going to just kind of settle into what he did in the last game in a bit of a different way. Important, I think, to note is that obviously he's stepping towards just more glaive attacks now, but like I said, this is different from the last game. Last game he went Gates first, then Twilight. Also, I mean, I feel like the more you do this, the more SHIN figures out. If he just starts playing a bit safely, if he's like, okay, this is your way to win games, then let me just shut that down, and I can really do something about this. So I think you can be very happy about that as well as SHIN here, as we just see the extra gates coming online. So we are actually just going to go 6 gates on 2 bases again. Wow. MaxPax is just literally going to say, I do not have a better way to beat you than with what I did in that last game. He does not believe in the more standard game at the moment. Damn. We're heading toward the main base. Again, Resonating Glaives and the Prism coming through. The extra gates are coming online. There's a lot of Lings coming up. The Roach is in production. See our Overlord slowly moving forward here into this main base. So Overlord on a slow advance. The rest of these Zerglings are going to come up around the top side. I mean, the Adepts are gathering, but there's a lot of units on the way from SHIN, so he's going to have the unit count at the very least to deal with this. Because we have everything else that he needs, as we have a couple more Adepts warping in. The Adepts are just going to sit tight here. The Roach Ravager is still gathering out onto the high ground. The Adepts are going to shade straight through as the Roach Ravager continues over. Those Adepts getting cleaned up straight away. The rest of the Lings coming across the other side. We continue to chase this. Just going to get a bit of a wraparound on those Adepts right here. So Adepts going to take some pretty hefty damage. And yeah, the Lings and the Roaches able to do very well on that. The Prism loading up. That's going to back away as well. Back into the center. And away we go. Again, Lings, Roaches coming up. Adepts and the Assimilator. Probes as well. Continue to produce on through here. Again, that Prism coming back over that left-hand side. Stalker going to rack away on the Overlord, so Overlord taking some damage. Lings, Roach, Ravager, all continuing up. Again, just going to be seeing our Prism moving about. Just going to have the Lings on the right-hand side making their way across as well. I mean, this attack from MaxPax never went anywhere yet. The problem is you're still on 2 bases, so you got to go at some point. You don't make any move here, and you're just going to be in trouble, so yeah, I got to do something at some stage of this right now. Going to be having our Prism continue to move across. I mean, the fact that SHIN's getting aggressive tells you a lot of what you need to know. Is we're just going to push our way up here. Immortal on the way. MaxPax is going to need it to play defensively with. I mean, he does not have much chance with just Adepts against the Roach count. The Ravager's morphing in too. The thing is, I mean, SHIN can just pick away at the front door as well. Like, he's in no rush to make anything more serious happen. He can just sit here, pick away at the gates. Just get some free, I say free damage, but there is an Immortal out now that was chipping at the Roaches, so it wasn't completely free, but pretty good going, to be fair, for the most part. Immobiles, Cybercore taking damage, will go down as well, so that's going to be a loss. MaxPax did not replace it yet, so that is a continuous, a continued problem for him. Roach Ravager pulling back over, the Zergling's still gathering in. The Immortal about to pop, Gateway and the Cybercore coming up, the Baneling Nest, Lair, and the Zerglings continue to produce. That's a couple more Corrosive Vials coming down as the Prism makes its way out down the bottom side as well. The Baneling Nest and the Lair and the Lings all continue through. The Extractor comes online as well. Just going to be seeing this Prism of MaxPax will try and head toward the main base. Not going to see much success there just yet, though. Again, the Bane Nest still coming by. The Spore Crawler in production. is a collection of Adepts and Immortals going to step their way through from MaxPax. They're just going to continue to come straight across here. MaxPax is still kind of very committed to this, so he pretty much has no choice other than to just go and to try and make something of it and make the best of what is kind of a bad situation. SHIN is immediately on the counter-attack into the natural that has no wall-off into the third that was just trying to set up. Well, at least that's Lings that are not here, and actually I'm not sure if we have enough to fight this right now as SHIN. The Ravagers are in the front as well, so the Adepts are going to be able to kill the Ravagers easily. The Banelings show up extremely late to this fight. I mean, SHIN jumped on this before he was really ready to fight. The Bane's showing up now, though. I think it's still going to be good enough for him as the Adepts get crashed upon. We are going to be seeing the Prism loading up, and we will begin to retreat away. So out of there we go. I mean, okay, it was obviously SHIN did a bunch of damage on the other side, too. It wasn't the prettiest fight. I actually think he could have taken this fight so much better. But, yeah, a little bit of a mistake in that regard. Just going to be seeing those Lings continue to come across the map immediately and just put MaxPax onto a tough spot where he is on 2 bases. He is down in this series. SHIN is on match point. And I think SHIN is pretty much dotting the I's and crossing the T's on his championship name here. As he is going to get a big win, because that's going to shoot him up to the 5th/6th seed for the OSC championship bracket. That means you have to play so much less of the bracket. You start so much deeper into the bracket. It's a major advantage for sure. And that's the benefit of performing well in the mid-season playoffs. So congrats to SHIN, because he is going to be able to take that away for himself. That will be a big positive. Prism loads up. The Bane speed, the Roach speed. All in the way from SHIN as his army just gets better. MaxPax's army stays pretty much the same. Adept, Immortal. There's 4 Mortals, but with Banes rolling into Adepts, the front line and the tankiness of this army is going to absolutely disintegrate extremely quickly. So that's going to be an issue, and I think in general this is just an issue. As you can see, MaxPax will try and utilize some force fields, but the Ravagers bust those down. Bane's connecting on the Adepts already. The Roach numbers are very good. We can micro your heart out with that Prism. It is not going to make much difference. Still some Bane stuck in the back. Again, not the prettiest fight from SHIN, but it don't have to be pretty when the numbers are good enough. Sometimes quantity is better than quality. And that's the case here, as SHIN is just going to keep going through, chasing Immortals down. I mean, these 2 Immortals may not die for a little while because the pickup micro from MaxPax is expected to be very good. Again, Ling Roach still building up. The Spire on the way back at home. So SHIN basically putting a, like, I cannot lose this game kind of stamp on this, because by going Spire, there is no world in which MaxPax is set up to defend against a Spire, right? There's just not. So yes, I like this more than kind of giving MaxPax some crazy kind of defense possibility or something like that. So you see now Ling's coming through once again. It's going to get set up immediately. And once again, just going to try and push at the front. Did we cancel the Spire? Yeah, we canceled the Spire. He just said he doesn't need it. He just thinks he can do this with pure units. I actually think the Spire was not a bad idea, to be honest. But, yeah, I mean, units are also going to work. As GG is called. And SHIN is going to take this series and the OSC mid-season playoffs 4-2 over MaxPax. Congratulations.